What's up, everybody? It's Jack and Dan, and we're just going to show you real quick how we do the rain barrel situation. We've done quite a few videos on our rain barrels and our hydro shots and how we use them to water everything. Really super easy system. We're just going to kind of show you how we unhook it and how we store them. Just takes a couple minutes, and it's super awesome. All right, so basically there's just this little thing, that two little screws that hold a little valve in there. The reason that we take these out in the winter is we get some crazy winters here in Cleveland. And we don't want them to crack or freeze or whatever. And we just don't want any problems. And we have enough room in the garage along the back. We just line them up in there. You can see here, if you look at this, how this works is this little hose just fits right into here. But I don't even take that off. I just take the whole thing out of the gutter. And it's basically just a big, huge rubber rectangle. And you just kind of pull it right out. And as you can see, and this was just drilled with a door handle. And when you buy the rain barrel, it comes with the fitting. So you stick it on your drill, you drill a hole in here, you pop that little guy in. As the rain comes down the gutter, this outer thing collects it, shoves it into these two little channels, and goes down in the tube and fills your rain barrel. This is where we had the big, huge devil's ivy, potus type of plant that's now in our fish tank. And if it overflows, it actually comes into here and comes out the front. But also, if there's a huge crazy storm, if the water is gushing down the gutter a lot, it just goes down the middle of this down into the gutter. So a lot of people would say, hey, why can't you just leave it on year round? Again, if I didn't live in Cleveland, we would not have this issue, but since we do, it's really kind of bad. And ice will form and all kind of awful things.
And it can crack and break.
Yeah, you don't want it to break. I mean, you know. So you just take this little plug here, you pop it right in the spot that the tube was in, just so your gutter's closed for the winter. You take the little self-tapping screw thing, and you just kind of screw it back in so that your gutter is now closed back up for the winter time. And honestly, it only takes a couple minutes. Just pop it in there, make sure it's in there good, and voila, you are ready for the winter time again. And it really only takes a couple minutes. After we do that, you can see right here that we already set this one up to drain. It's just draining out. We'll probably tip it forward, make sure that all the water's out of it. This is one that happened to have a planter on the top, so it had this gravel in it. And how this works is, down in the bottom of this planter, there's a little tiny hole, and you can hear it draining into there right now. There's a little tiny hole, and as this fills up all the way, it actually keeps this plant kind of wet all the time. So you don't really ever have to water whatever's on the top of it. It automatically waters it. So we're going to put a different kind of plant in there next year. Basically, we just leave these attached. They do pop together like this, so this is pretty cool. I'll show you this. They do pop together like so, and take up a little less room and a little easier to move around. Isn't that cool? So you just do that, and then we basically just stick it in our little wheelbarrow. Got the aero cart right behind you, buddy. That's our aero cart from WORX. We love that. And we just pop them in the aero cart. They're not that heavy, but it's kind of easy to do it that way since they're big and bulky. And we just put them all on the wall of the garage, and they sit in there for about the next 4 or 5 months. When it starts getting warm again, we come back out, we just attach them right back up, and they start filling up, and then we can use them throughout the whole spring, summer, and fall to water everything. So that's it. Really super easy. If you've never looked into rain barrels, we highly recommend them. We got most of ours at Costco for about, I think they were about $100 with all the fittings and drill bits and everything, which is way lower than they are at most places. In fact, I've seen them at Costco as low as, did we see them for like $80 one time? Mm-hmm. And then maybe 120. But if you look online, you'll see some of these are $200 to $300 a piece. So check out Costco for sure. That's about it. Super easy thing to do. We love them. They work great, especially with the WORX Hydroshot. If you haven't seen our WORX Hydroshot video, we'll put a link in the description. Jack loves using the WORX Hydroshot, don't you, buddy?
Yeah.
It's a fun tool. It's a pressure washer, battery powered.
I like the pressure washer ability.
It's really cool. So, yeah. So check that out. I'll put a link in the description. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for future notifications. We do stuff about conservation, health and wellness, and of course all of our hobbies, which mainly include our fish tanks and those kind of things too. So hit the bell so you don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.